Well, we got this Turner torch all put back together. We had done a general refurb on it, and I'm gonna light it up for you. Here we go. I'll tell you, the old gas that was in here, I'm telling you, this thing was probably filled up to here. It had about 2 good cups of rotten, nasty gas in there. It's really nasty. And you can't get rid of that stuff. There's nowhere to put that. I mean, you can't, it's not easy to dispose of that stuff. So what I ended up doing is I went and burned part of it in a Whisper Light stove. And then after I was done, that's not this one, but the other little MSR fuel bottle, I went and washed it out with Simple Green and rinsed it and everything, get all that nasty smell out of it. And then the remainder of it, that gasoline, because it was too much for the Whisper Light, I went and I poured that on top of the catalytic Coleman heater and burned it off in a couple of increments, a couple of batches of it. And I'm telling you, that was some nasty fuel. It burned black and nasty. It's like the Whisper Light. I had to switch out the Whisper Light to the second Whisper Light, and that burned out quite a bit. And I picked them because they're easy to clean. I just took them apart and cleaned the jets and washed it out and sprayed it with Simple Green, and so they're like fine. But it was I had to burn all that gasoline off this morning, which I did. It's the only way, just like is to get rid of it. Anyway, let's get going on this thing here. All right. So anyway, this Turner torch, this is steel. This is in really good shape. The handle, everything got torn apart. The pump, I made a new rubber seal, little plunger seal thing. It's not a plunger, but it's like a, you know how some have like a spring with a ball, a check valve, a ball, like a metal ball. This one has like the Primus has a little rubber cylindrical shaped piece that sits on a little piece of tubular metal with a spring. And then so when you pump down, it would force it down, and then the spring pressure would push it up against the pump so that the air can escape. And then the leather cup was in good shape. We soaked that in pump juice, like Steve Winkleman would say, and let that sit overnight and got it nice and soft and supple, or whatever you want to call it. And so it seems to be fine. And like I said, everything got torn apart and cleaned. I sprayed this. So let's light her up. So I'm going to go ahead and all right. This valve, tore it all apart, cleaned everything. Just took it. It wasn't hard to tear this thing apart. It's a really, really, really good design. Everything's really made well. It's a super high, I mean, back in the day, they just made these things like really high quality. It's amazing the quality that they, I mean, these things are like bulletproof, with the exception of the age and, like I say, rubber components wearing down. I put a little O-ring under here, this little O-ring under there. I used a little bit of Teflon tape on the pipe thread there. But this guy it's amazing. I'll be honest, I really like this design way better than the Primus. The Primus torch, where is that guy? So this piece right here, I got another exact one of these coming from England. It's got all the components, so that the cover, the sheath cover was missing, but I was leaking. I could get it to fire and burn and make a flame, but it was like, but I think it's the jet. The jet's kind of beat up, and I think its jet's not sealed good, and it's kind of going off the side a little bit, but it's not plugged up. I have unplugged that jet with a small orifice cleaner from one of the Whisperlight stoves, and but this thing here leaks a little bit, but once it heats up, it kind of self-seals, but it does shut down easy. It does work. It's good with this thing right there. Release pressure and it will die down on you. So we'll keep working on this one here. I'm going to try to see if I can get that jet kind of dialed in a little bit, maybe tomorrow. The one thing I will say is this Sweden or wherever makes Primus, Europe, it's a really beautiful design. They use some really pretty materials. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to just start here with this thing here. I put kind of a lot of gasoline in there. Let's see if I can just... Still some gas in the but it's like a jet engine. That's why I really like these things. They're so cool. This thing, I'm telling you, it's bulletproof. It's really a beautiful design. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've got lots of European stuff. I mean, I've got BMWs, Mini Coopers, I've owned a lot of Mercedes-Benzes, diesels, a million Volkswagens. I'm half Russian and got half German with some Scotch-Irish, okay, so it's like, but I gotta say, this American design, this is like, it's like the muscle car of Porsche. This thing's awesome. And it's a beautiful flame. I mean, look at that thing. That thing's awesome. See how low we can go. It's hot. So you can turn it down pretty good. Yeah. You can't beat that thing. It's awesome. I mean, I can really see them, you know, like doing auto body work. Back in 1986, 85, 86, I think I was at Mount San Jacinto Community College over there in San Jacinto. I was taking auto body at night, and my auto body teacher, Renee, he's an old guy. Well, he's probably passed away now. I mean, God, he was like 70 plus years old. But he was an old body guy, and he was, you know, did all the stuff where he'd spend like 2 days fixing a fender, pounding it out, and heating it and shrinking it, and using a little bit of lead. I'm sure he used these torches all the time. But I bet you this thing would be really good for burning weeds in your driveway, you know? You know how weeds burn in the cracks in your driveway? Oh, shit. Anyway, it's pretty cool. You gotta admit it. It's really awesome. All right. Woohoo! Yeah, this is a beauty. I'm gonna let her cool down. Anyway, God bless y'all. So I'm torn down the 1955 was a 220E, and tomorrow we're going to be working on the camp light. I got a camp light that has some pinhole leaks, so I found a guy on YouTube who had a pretty good method to fix those. Basically what he did is he took a piece of copper wire, put a little piece of brass at the end, and then he would feed it through the font, through the pinhole, pull it through, and then he would use silver solder. So the brass is right up to that pinhole, and then he would silver solder that. So I'm gonna give it a try. I think we can do it. I bought that Coleman 58 font. It's like a 220 font. It's a little bit bigger, about the same shape, but that was like my I wanted to keep that camp light going, so I was going to swap them out and then pack away the camp light. But when I saw that guy's video, I thought, oh, I'm going to give it a try here and see how it works out to get that thing soldered up, and then we can give it a quick sand and respray it. And you know, but I'm going to wire brush the whole font, the pressure tank, get it down so I can find every pinhole that it might have, and then if it's not Swiss cheese, then we're going to fix it. Anyway, God bless. Let's try lighting this up one more time a little bit, just to see if it lights right up. Oops. Come on, baby. Yeah, this thing, I feel really comfortable with this thing. It's definitely a well built and a good design. All right. Anyway, God bless you, and we will catch you tomorrow. Got some of this some pretty good brew coffee from this morning. It's still good. And I think I'm going to, well, I'll show you real quick here. I was on a kick. I built 3 e-bikes. These things are awesome. And then we've got the Razor. We haven't used this for a long time. I pulled it out and got it charged up, and my daughter drove it on the sidewalks for about half a mile this morning. That thing's pretty awesome. So yeah, so this is all soaking, and we'll get it all cleaned up and get it all prepped and ready to go. Get all any other parts. This had been soaking for all night, but I think we'll just stick it back in here. Might as well. I got time. It's not like I'm hurting on it. And I'll wash that thing up. It's broken. I got 2 really nice original ones with the red Coleman script on it that are coming. And we'll get everything ready to go, so when those parts show up, like I say, I've got overnight the whole assembly of the whole brass assembly with the whole thing there. Overnight parts from Japan. No, they're not from Japan. They're somewhere on the East Coast coming. But there's a few parts here that can be salvaged off this thing. I have no idea what these people were thinking. I haven't even cracked this open. I could actually crack it open and see there's a nub of the rod in there. It may still work in there. I don't know. I might actually just be able to grind it down into a shape and keep it as a spare, but it looks funky. I just don't understand. Maybe they tried to tear this thing apart and broke it off. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely gotta get this piece. I don't know if the new one had this or not. It's loose. But anyway, what's that bug there? Oh, a bug there. All right. Anyway, God bless and have a wonderful day.